All right, thank you, Vienna, and greetings to everyone. Thanks for the intro. I won't be too long because I understand I may be one of the things standing between you and lunch. So I'll be very brief. Basically, my background, like she said, is in data communication and network engineering. I'm not a software developer, so the first part of it was very instructive to me, so I did learn a lot, and I did want to thank Coders4Africa for, first of all, having me here today to exchange with you all, and also for educating me, because I did learn quite a great deal. Again, I'm also, like she said, a founding member of Seneweb.com. Some of you who are from Senegal or from Francophone Africa may know about the site or have visited it. That's a site that's been around for about 15 years now, and today we are one of the leading Francophone Africa community website. We provide news and, back in the days when forums were a big thing, that was a great deal, but it's still a site where people meet, to find out about what's going on, to exchange, to meet, and I want to give maybe a quick history about Seneweb. It's amazing that we are here today because. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it better? Okay. So I was just going to say I'm going to give a brief background about Seneweb and how it started. It's quite amazing that we are in this building today because. Me and my business partner, we actually met about 16 or 17 years ago right on this block. And we were still going to school at Strayer, which I believe has a campus now either next door, but it used to be a couple buildings down the street before that. So that's actually where we met. And we happened to be in the same class about Intro to HTML. And we had a class project to basically build a website. And I guess we did pretty good. We did build a pretty basic website. It was quite interesting. And if you all remember back in the days, that was the big .com fever and the boom. E-commerce was just the next great thing. And we were like, wow, why don't we go ahead and build an e-commerce website? So we took it very seriously. We wanted to do that, but then we realized that, we wanted to sell product to the Senegalese diaspora and the community. But one of the big challenges we had back then was how are we gonna, publicize, or how are we gonna let people know about this site that we are building? And that's when we realized that there was a big void in the online landscape, if you will, in the sense that, at least back in the days, there were really no site for the Africans to go to meet, or to basically, share. And that's kind of how we put that project on hold and say, let's just build that. And that's really how Seneweb started, pretty much. So it took a long time to build it. Back in the day, I still work for a third party, but he also was working for a company called Quest Communication back then. So we were still working our full-time jobs and working on evenings and on weekends on Seneweb. And basically, after a few years, we reached a point where the site had grown and could sustain itself, and slowly we started hiring a couple more people. And today we have about 30 employees between here in the US, back in Senegal, and a couple in Europe. So, and we are hoping to grow it further and even beyond Senegal. So that's a little bit of background, and I'm glad that there are now companies or enterprises like Coders4Africa, because over the years we just could not find, we do quite a great deal of outsourcing. So we have worked with people as far as Ukraine, as far as India over the years, but now we have these guys we can go to, and that's quite exciting to be able to do that, and at the same time know that we may not be throwing our money away because hopefully part of it will go back to the community. So we are thrilled and very happy about that. So I'll be in a panel later on about content and technology. And that's really what I really feel strongly about. And I guess I can talk more about it because my background in data communication allows me to really have a critical look at how networking and mainly internet is being, at least the service is being provided in the continent. I do think that while it's great, we all heard the numbers about how fast it's growing. We heard previous people talk about 3G taking off and all that stuff. But if you look at the big picture, we are way, way behind. Today I think there's about 16% of the Africans who have access to internet. That's just basic access. If you're talking about broadband access, it's much, much lower. We're talking less than 5%. So these are shocking numbers, but it's great we do all we do, but unless we have a good, reliable, affordable, and decent bandwidth, a good way to access these applications and these content, then it's kind of moot. So we need to see how we can contribute. We may not be able to go everywhere and fix it, but we do have ideas. Luckily, there's a lot of these problems that have been solved elsewhere. So we don't need to reinvent anything. We just need to look at what was done in other places around the world and try to learn from it and adapt it to our context, because obviously it's very different. So with that said, like I said, I'm not going to be very long. I look forward to the panel, and hopefully we can have some more exchanges. Thank you.